Hi and welcome to the 2017 paper 2 of the ordinary level Leaving Cert. This is the question 9 from section B. As usual, if you want to set notes that I'm working off, just send me an email at shanetroy@gmail.com. And I'd suggest pausing this video and just trying the question yourself before moving on and seeing what the answer is. Let's get stuck in. This is question 9. So in June 2016, the UK held a referendum on its membership of the EU. Table 1 below summarizes the results. So you see the table here, you have the number of voters who vote to leave the EU, number of voters who vote to remain. Add those two together, you get the number of valid votes, okay, and then you have the total votes. We're missing a section here. So part A, part 1, which is worth 5 marks, says write the number of invalid or blank votes into the table. I'm actually remaking this video because I had an error here, but if I go to the answer, your total votes take away the valid votes. Okay, the difference is the invalid votes, the spoiled votes. Okay, that calculations give you the answer 25359. And the mistake I made in the last one as well was not writing it on the table. They do specifically say that, so they can be a bit tricky in terms of marks. Okay. Now part 2 then says write the number who voted to leave the EU as a percentage of the valid votes. Okay, give your answer correct to the nearest percent. Okay, now you've two choices here. It's either leave over valid or valid over leave. If you have the valid on top, you're going to have a small number on top. The leave will be less, so you'll end up with more than 100%. Okay, you have a top-heavy fraction. So that's obviously not the answer. So leave over valid is a smaller number over a bigger number, which is going to give you a fraction between 0 and 1. Multiply that by 100 to turn into a percent. So I have the figures here, the 174, 10742, whatever, divided by the number, okay, for the total votes, multiplied by 100, and I got 51.89. It did say to round to nearest percent, so the 8 here is closer to the jump, so it rounds up to 52. Okay, so it's part A, 1 and 2. Now part B here says, table 2 shows the percentages of remain and leave voters in various age groups of those who voted in the referendum. So you see a second table here, and you have 73%, for example, of 18 to 24-year-olds voted to remain, only 27 vote to leave. Now, you look through, you notice the trend, okay? The percentage of voters who wanted to remain, okay, decreases as you get older. The people who wanted to leave increase as you get older. Okay, so irrespective of anything, this might come up later on, but older people wanted to leave, younger people wanted to stay. Okay, and that's probably one of the most common arguments about having a second referendum. Okay, why should the old people decide the future of the young people? Okay, now you're asked in part 1 here, it's worth 15 C marks, there's a lot of marks. Draw a suitable chart. Okay, now that could be a bar graph, pie chart, trend graph, whatever. Or charts, there's a hint there in a sense, okay, to represent the data in table 2. Now you could do 2 pie charts here, okay, you could do a trend graph on the same XY axis, but probably the most suitable one would be a bar chart because it's so easy to see what's going on, comparison. Now go to the answer here, okay, so I'm assuming drawing a bar chart is no problem, okay. You're just looking here, making sure you have it obvious which one is which, okay, and you have the blue here is the number of people voting for remain. So you see here, it looks about 73, matching up what's on the graph. So basically, as long as you have your graph drawn well, should be no problem. Okay, I'm not going to go into any more detail there. That should be fairly obvious. Now, B part 2 here, it's worth 10 marks. So it says find the mean, okay, or for lack of a better word, average, okay, of the remain values given in table 2. And find the mean of the leave values given in table 2. Give your answer as percentages, correct the 2 decimal places. Okay, so you basically find the mean of this set of data here, and then the mean of this set of data. Now the mean is found by just adding all the values and dividing by the number of them. So adding all these, okay, dividing by the number of them, which is what, 6. So the answer here, the formula from the table, okay, sum of your data divided by the number of data points shown the calculation there. It's always very important to show your calculation. So if your answer is wrong, and the calculation is shown as right, you'll do pretty well. So I end up with 52.33, which rounds to two decimal places of 52.33%. Now I've done the exact same thing for the leave data. So 27 plus 38 plus 48, etc. Okay, and divided by the number of them, which is 6, I end up with 47.67%. And that's around the two decimal places. Fairly handy. Okay, mean, mode, median is fairly standard in statistics. And the three concepts together are called the average, so I probably shouldn't use the slang of average in a mathematical sense. Part 3 here says, explain why the referendum to Part B2 the answers to Part B2 do not accurately reflect the actual outcome of the referendum. Okay. Now, I kind of hate these questions. Sometimes they're hit and miss. This one gives you some marks if you get something right. You see what I've written here, but basically, 73% of young people vote to stay. 60% of all people, okay, in that age group, okay, voted to leave, okay. Now, I don't know what that 73, even though those numbers look bigger, you know, I don't know how many 18 to 24-year-olds voted, okay. I don't know how many 65 plus voted. Now, I do, okay, because of historical reasons. And we know that young people generally don't vote. Old people do vote. So this could be 10 million people voted over 65. Only 1 million voted here. So 73% of 1 million is a small number. 6% of 10 million is a huge number. Okay. So how you want to express that can be fairly tricky. Now, I've said it here. The number of voters in each group is not used in the calculation of the mean in B2. The mean is based on percentage data of voters in each age group and is therefore unreliable. Now, I think I've taken that from the marking scheme. Again, I said to you, I hate these questions. I would say if you get it, be very careful what you actually write down, because again, these are usually nowadays, from my experience, becoming hit and miss. If it's not perfect, you get nothing. Okay, so phrasing it carefully and not waffling is paramount. Now it's part 3 there. So part C here. In the days following the UK referendum, a survey was conducted in Ireland on attitudes towards a British exit from the European Union. They did a survey of 1,200 people. Find the margin of error. Okay, now once you see that, okay, this is the formula. Find the margin of error of the survey. Write your answer as a percentage, and round it to the nearest percent. Okay, so there's 3 things going on there. Now, margin of error is a formula. Okay, so it's going to go straight to the answer because it's prettier. So it's the margin of error is given as 1 divided by the square root of n. Now, n is the number of survey participants. So in this case, your total is 1,200. Okay, so it's 1 divided by the square root of 1,200, which gives me this decimal here. Multiply that by 100 to give a percentage. Okay, done that here. And that's what, 2.886, whatever. So it rounds up to be 3. Okay, I just didn't kind of show that last calculation. Okay, so I rounded it and did the calculation at the same time. Okay, so there's a margin of error of 3%. You'll find that any good survey, generally, it's not really accepted unless it has a survey population of greater than 1,000, which would give around 3% error. Okay. Now, part 2 here says, in the Irish survey, 578 of the 1,200 surveyed agreed that a UK exit would have a negative effect on the Irish economy. Okay, use your answers to part C1 above to create a 95% confidence interval for the proportion of the Irish population who agreed that a UK exit would have a negative effect on the Irish economy. I'm knackered just reading that. And I suppose it's a good point to just take a step back and go, look, reading these questions, they're very, very wordy, and that's not going to go away. So we often feel when we're reading something that, oh, why am I not getting it? Am I dumb? Am I this? Am I that? Trust me, now I am dumb, but like this stuff takes me multiple times. The times I don't spend the extra minutes or the extra, care reading it are the times I mess up, okay? So you got to kind of unpack it. If you need to read it 3, 4 times, 5, 6 times, whatever it is, as you go through it, What's the important information? Okay, so we go through it again. So blah, 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 irrelevant. 578 of the 1,200, okay, agreed that a UK exit would have a negative effect on the Irish economy. That's the premise. So majority, well, actually not majority, majority believed, now 622 people, I think, that it would not have a negative effect. Okay. Now use your answer to priority one above to create a 95% confidence interval. Okay. So now basically, okay, so first thing I've done here is I've just got a percentage of the number of people who feel that the eggs would have the negative effect. 178 over 1,200, okay, multiplied by 100 to get percentage. So it's about 48, if I round it down, 48% of people feel that the UK exit would have a negative effect. Now we're trying to do a 95% confidence interval. Okay, so looking at what is one margin of error above and below. Okay, so keep the numbers rounded. Okay, so it's 48%. So it's either put it this way. It's 48. Okay, it could be 3% above that. Okay, or it could be 3% below that. You see, 48 take away 3 is the 45 here. 48 add the 3 is the 51. Now this level of statistics, there's a whole pile of other parts to confidence intervals. If you're Googling this online, you can go down some rabbit holes of complexity. Okay, at the level of Irish Leaving Cert order level, this is as far as it goes. Okay, so in one sense, just keep it simple. Use your textbook because it'll focus in on the important stuff for the Irish syllabus. If you go online, you'll end up, there's much more layers of complexity to confidence intervals with standard deviation and variance and all that kind of stuff. That's part 2. It's if you just keep it simple, that's all you have to do. Now part 3 here. So after the survey, a political party claimed that 53% of the Irish population believed that the decision of the UK to leave the EU would have a negative effect on the Irish economy. Okay. Now, is that true or not? Okay. So this is use your answer to part C2 above to conduct a hypothesis test at the 5% level of significance to test the party's claim. Give your conclusion in the context of the question. There's only 5 marks here, okay, which is an indication usually of like how badly this is attempted. There's a specific way they want it, so I'm going to go straight to the answer just to go through that, okay. But this is as hard as it gets, okay. For so little marks, if you're at the end of coming close to exam time and you're looking to prepare yourself and you feel underprepared, just skip this. Go back and practice your set things like, slope, distance, midpoint, all those max mins, the stuff that's definitely coming up and is high mark, okay? But I'll go to the answer here. So you're looking at giving your null hypothesis, okay, is the statement that 53% of the Irish population believed blah, blah, blah. Your alternative hypothesis, as soon as I see this written as HA, okay, is that it's not equal to that, okay? Now, if we look at our figures, okay, when I've used decimals here, but we had the 28.17, was it? Or 48.17? So 48.17, okay, and add your 3, okay, you end up at 51.17. Take away your 3, you end up at 41.17. Is that range of figures, is that the same? Is your 53 within that? No, it's not. Therefore, we reject the null hypothesis and we state that the claim is false. It would only be accepted if it had been, if that number that they had said was within that interval. You'd say accept null hypothesis, party claim is true. Okay, but 53 is not between that range. Okay, not between 45.17 and 51.17. So therefore, it's not true. So it's, if you get it, it's fairly handy. But if you don't get it, just trying to paraphrase for a different set of questions, which can confuse you. Anyway, that's the remake of this video. So 40 minutes in. See you on the next paper. Thank you very much and best luck in the exam.